What the Wing Chun community never talks about, how Bruce Lee's departure from traditional forms really began, and why it was perceived as such a threat. The 1967 confrontation in Hong Kong wasn't just between two people. It was between old and new, tradition and revolution. Witnesses to that day still tell that 3-second moment differently. Hong Kong, Kowloon District, March 1967. The Wing Chun school feels different today, heavier. The wooden dummy stands silent in the corner, but the tension filling the room is anything but quiet. Students practice their forms with unusual intensity, stealing glances toward the center where two men face each other in Chi Sao position. This isn't practice. This is Judgment Day. Bruce Lee stands relaxed, his wrists touching those of Master Wong Shun Leung, one of Ip Man's most senior disciples. 25 years of pure Wing Chun tradition versus Bruce's increasingly radical modifications. Wong's eyes carry the weight of orthodoxy and the burden of preserving what he believes Bruce is destroying. The challenge came 3 weeks earlier during a heated discussion about centerline theory. Bruce had suggested that Wing Chun's commitment to the centerline could become a limitation in certain ranges and angles. Wong's response was swift and decisive, though accounts vary. He reportedly declared that if Bruce believed their art was incomplete, he should prove his improvements work against the complete art. Chi Sao, the sensitivity training that forms Wing Chun's core, became the testing ground. Not the casual rolling hands of practice, but Chi Sao with intent. 3 seconds to prove whether evolution or tradition held the superior truth. Wong applies forward pressure, testing Bruce's structure. This is classical Wing Chun. Maintain centerline, redirect force, counter along the shortest path. His technique is flawless, refined through decades of drilling. His stance is perfect, feet shoulder-width apart, knees slightly bent, weight evenly distributed. His forward energy comes from the whole body, not just arms. Bruce's response reveals the first deviation. Instead of meeting force with redirected force, he steps off the centerline at a 45-degree angle, breaking one of Wing Chun's fundamental rules. His footwork creates angular momentum that traditional responses weren't designed to handle. The step isn't large, just enough to shift his body's relationship to incoming force. Wong follows, maintaining contact, applying what the system teaches. Sticky hands, follow the bridge, trap when opportunity presents. His sensitivity is extraordinary. 25 years of Chi Sao have made his arms extensions of his nervous system. He can feel Bruce's intentions through the slightest pressure changes. But Bruce's movement creates something Wong has never encountered in Chi Sao. The angle eliminates Wong's leverage while maintaining Bruce's sensitivity to incoming force. It's Wing Chun principles applied through non-Wing Chun positioning. Bruce hasn't abandoned sensitivity, he's repositioned it. His forward pressure remains constant, but now comes from an unexpected vector. Wong's responses, trained through thousands of repetitions, seek targets that are no longer where they should be. Second 2. Wong attempts Biu Sao, the thrusting hand technique designed to crash through defenses. His execution is textbook, fingers extended, wrist locked, power generated from shoulder and hip rotation. In traditional Chi Sao, this technique forces the opponent to Pak Sao or Lop Sao, creating the trapping sequences that define Wing Chun's close-range game. Bruce intercepts not with Pak Sao or Lop Sao, the traditional responses, but with a simultaneous attack and defense that Wing Chun theory doesn't account for. His hand meets Wong's advance, while his other hand threatens Wong's centerline, creating a timing problem no Wing Chun response was designed to solve. The simultaneity violates Wing Chun's sequential approach to combat. Wong's decades of training demand he follow protocol, trap the hand, control the bridge, establish dominance through superior positioning. His muscle memory seeks the familiar patterns of give and take, advance, and redirect. But Bruce's counterattack forces Wong to abandon his offensive to defend, disrupting the rhythm that makes Wing Chun devastating. This isn't chaos. It's structure, but structure based on different principles. Where Wing Chun demands adherence to centerline, Bruce employs centerline as one option among many. Where Wing Chun emphasizes forward pressure, Bruce uses pressure from multiple angles. The foundation remains, but the expression has evolved. Third second, the moment of truth. Wong commits to a straight blast, multiple punches along centerline, the technique that exemplifies Wing Chun's direct approach. His chain punching is magnificent. Each strike feeds the next, creating relentless forward pressure that has overwhelmed countless opponents. His breathing is controlled, his structure solid, his intent absolute. Bruce's response shatters every rule Wong has spent 25 years perfecting. Instead of meeting the attack head-on or redirecting it sideways, Bruce moves forward and underneath, slipping the punches while closing distance. The motion places Bruce inside Wong's guard, too close for Wing Chun's designed range, too close for the system's built-in solutions. Wong's follow-up techniques require specific distance and positioning. Bruce has eliminated both. The traditional responses, Bil Sao, Jut Sao, Huan Sao, all depend on maintaining certain spatial relationships. Bruce has collapsed those relationships, forcing Wong into unfamiliar territory where his 25 years of training offer no clear path. What happens next lasts less than 1 second, but changes everything. Bruce's hand appears at Wong's throat, not striking, just positioned. A gentle touch, but the message is unmistakable. In a real encounter, this would have ended the fight. The placement is precise, targeting the carotid sinus where minimal pressure creates maximum effect. The room falls silent. Students stop their forms, staring at their senior instructor standing frozen with Bruce's hand at his throat. This isn't humiliation. It's demonstration. Bruce steps back, bows respectfully, but the lesson has been delivered with surgical precision. Wong straightens, processing what just occurred. His Wing Chun was textbook perfect. Every technique, every principle applied correctly. Yet, he stands defeated by someone who broke those same principles deliberately and successfully. The cognitive dissonance is overwhelming. If Wing Chun is complete, how did its violation prove superior? Bruce's voice is quiet, respectful. The art gave me everything I needed to understand these principles. But once I understood them, I saw they could be applied beyond the traditional framework. I'm not abandoning Wing Chun. I'm asking what Wing Chun principles look like when they're free to adapt. Wong's response would be retold differently by various witnesses. Some reported anger, others curiosity. Most agreed on his final statement. Proving something works doesn't prove the old way is worthless, but it does prove the old way isn't the only way. This 3-second encounter became the foundation of what Bruce would eventually call Jeet Kune Do. Not a rejection of Wing Chun, but an expansion of its core insights beyond its traditional limitations. The art that taught him to feel an opponent's intentions also taught him when those intentions could be redirected, intercepted, or bypassed entirely. Wing Chun gave Bruce the sensitivity to read Wong's attacks, but Bruce's innovations gave him responses Wong had never trained to counter. The teacher had become the student, and the student had become something new, something that honored the foundation while refusing to be constrained by it. Years later, Bruce would write about this moment as the birth of his philosophy. Absorb what is useful, reject what is useless, add what is specifically your own. 3 seconds that proved tradition could be a springboard rather than a ceiling.